There have been many effects of the Me Too movement, and one of them appears to be a greater likelihood a female who's been sexually abused will seek treatment.
Local hospitals have been refining the care they provide to ensure a supportive, safe environment for victims. But law enforcement has not seen an uptick in reports of abuse. So where's the disconnect, and what does that mean for care and safety? I went to get answers. Hospitals are supposed to be safe havens to seek care, but too often victims of sexual assault are afraid to walk through the door.
They're afraid of what people are going to think of them.
A lot of times the patients feel that people aren't going to believe them.
To change that perception, a growing number of hospitals now employ sexual assault nurse examiners, SANE for short. Their mission is to make sexual assault victims see the hospital as a safe place for care and support.
It starts from the moment that they're met at the front door.
Just have a seat right here on the bed.
On how, once they feel that they are empowered to be able to come in and get the care that they deserve, it helps with their healing.
Identify as a sexual assault victim when you walk in and you are ushered to a separate area dedicated for your care. These people are greeted by a SANE staffer or someone trained in the specific needs of these victims.
They need to know that there's services available for them. They need to know that there's support in the community, and that sometimes there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
So they would actually call United Concierge Medicine.
If a hospital doesn't have SANE on staff, they may have access to these trained medical professionals via telemedicine. St. Peter's has a program providing this service to 4 rural communities. Nathan Littauer Hospital in Gloversville is part of this.
They can call us and we will actually help them all the way through the exam. So we're there for the 3 to 4 hours.
And the need for this specialized care is growing. Perhaps because of the Me Too movement, the number of people, women, children, and men, seeking care has been increasing.
So in 2019 so far, we've seen 234 patients, and we're only in the end of July, or end of August, so we still have a couple more months left of the year. In 2018, we saw 243 patients.
Of all ages?
Of all ages.
A similar increase is reported at St. Peter's Hospital and Saratoga Hospital, although the total number of patient victims presenting for care in Saratoga is much smaller.
I don't necessarily think that the crime is occurring more. I just think that more people are talking about it.
But that's not translating into more reporting of this crime. How many of the people who come through these doors actually file a police report?
Very few. I would probably say 1 in 20.
I checked with sheriffs across the capital region, and the figures on reporting are mixed. Rensselaer, Saratoga, Fulton, and Washington County say they have seen an increase over the past 2 to 3 years. But that's not the case in Albany, Montgomery, Warren, Schenectady, and Schoharie counties, where reporting has held steady. Greene and Columbia County didn't reply to our repeated requests for information. So why wouldn't a victim of sexual assault make that report?
Afraid of what people are going to think of them. They're afraid sometimes it's intimate partner. They don't know where they're going to go, what they're going to do.
They don't want to involve law enforcement. They don't want to tell their story over and over again.
But they no longer have to tell their story immediately. New York law recently changed. Now the evidence kit must be kept for 20 years. Before this, hospitals only had to keep the kits for 30 days. This change gives victims time to process what's happened to them and bring charges at a later time if they choose to do so. To accommodate the change, local hospitals have added refrigerators to preserve the kits until the state assumes responsibility. The timing of that transfer is still being sorted out, and more details are expected by year's end. Time, however, remains critical for accessing treatment.
Because the sooner we collect evidence before you shower, brush your teeth, change your clothes, we're more apt to get more DNA.
And medication to prevent sexually transmitted diseases can be started. To facilitate this and accommodate the victim, the designated area in the hospital often has showers and donated clothing. Albany Med partners with UAlbany to fill clothing and toiletry bags to send the person home with.
We are seeing children, adolescents, and adults probably seeing more young children, I think, than we have seen in the past.
And I was wondering if you could show me on the model.
Although authorities won't be called if an adult prefers not to have them involved, when it's a child, the call must be made. That's the law. However, a child can seek care without their parent or guardian.
It gives them the sense of control from the moment they disclose that something's happened to them.
The goal is helping them begin the healing process and, when appropriate, find a safe environment.
I just want patients to know that they can come and get the care that they need.
And the woman you saw in the story appearing to undergo treatment was not an actual victim. And as you can understand, no one who's experienced this trauma wanted to go on camera. The takeaway, of course, Jim, is that there is care, there is treatment. You won't be contacted afterwards unless you have a safe place to be contacted to make sure that you're doing okay.
A lot of this seems to be about empowerment. When you go in, you are taken to a special place. You don't have to hurry up right away and make a bunch of decisions. You're given the power to do what you feel comfortable doing.
Because in a sexual assault, the power is taken from you.
Right.
So go get that care.
It's good that people out there see this and know about this.
Yeah.